We're beginning the broadcast with some breaking news coming in. A shocker that has come to light from Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu Education Minister denigrating Hindi, saying Hindi speakers sell Pani-Puri in Tamil Nadu. That's the statement that he made amid the controversy over language. The Tamil Nadu Education Minister saying Hindi speakers sell Pani-Puri. Let's go across to Shilpa, who's joining us on the broadcast. Prapanch is also joining us. Shilpa, to you first. There's a raging language controversy already going on. The Tamil Nadu Education Minister there insulting Hindi, saying Hindi speakers only sell Pani-Puri in Tamil Nadu.
Well, that's it. In fact, this is the first time that the education is making these remarks. The second time that that it is the North Indian speaking population that is selling Pani-Puri in Tamil Nadu.
Okay, Shilpa, we're facing audio issues there. We'll come back to you. Prapanch, coming to you next. Is this the line that the DMK and the Congress party is going to take? A minister in the DMK government saying that those who speak Hindi are only selling Pani-Puri in Tamil Nadu, a clear insult to Hindi.
Now, Minister Ponmudy had spoken these words during a convocation event where even the Tamil Nadu governor was present in that event. He said that there are two languages that are spoken in Tamil Nadu. One is English and one is Tamil. Tamil is a regional language and English is an international language. Then why is there necessary for another language, Hindi? So while speaking that, he also said that there are a lot of people who are here in Coimbatore and Tamil Nadu who are Hindi speakers, but what they are selling is Pani-Puri. So such comments were made during the convocation event, and governor also responded to that. In fact, not the particular context, but he overall said that there is no compulsion. There is a impression that center is posing to the language on the states, but there is no such things. And he said that anybody can learn. Even the governor said that the national education policy says that English
it's one thing to have pride for Tamil. It's a completely different debate when you insult another language, and this statement by the minister is not acceptable. Let's listen in to the statement that he made.
Anna has told அவர் ஒரு உதாரணம் சொன்னார். பூனை போறதுக்கு ஒரு வழி இருக்கு. அந்த பூனை போற வழியிலேயே ஏன்னா ரொம்ப பேர் சொன்னாங்க ஹிந்தி படிச்சா வேலை கிடைக்கும். கிடைக்குதா? ஹிந்தி நம்ம ஊர்ல கோயம்புத்தூர்ல போய் பாருங்க, பானிபூரி வச்சுக்கிறோம். எந்த கடை யாரு? எல்லாம் அவங்க தான். ஆக அது ஒரு காலம். இப்ப ஆங்கிலம் இன்டர்நேஷனல் லாங்குவேஜ். பூனை போடுறதுக்கு ஒரு வழி இருக்கு. அந்த வழியா பூனை போகலாம். அதுல இன்னொரு நான் என்ன பண்ணான், அந்த வீட்டுக்காரன் பூனை போறதுக்கு ஒரு வழியை ஓட்ட போட்டு எலி போறதுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன ஓட்ட போட்டான். இது எதுக்கு அந்த சின்ன ஓட்ட போடுறேன்னு ஒருத்தர் கேட்டான் பக்கத்துல. எலி போறதுக்கு ஏன்னா பூனை போற ஓட்டையிலே எலி போகாதா? We are learning international language English. What is the need for another language?
Okay, this was the statement that was made by the minister. The DMK government has made it clear. In fact, the DMK has been opposing Hindi push, but this is not about the Hindi push. This is a clear insult of another language, saying that those who speak Hindi are only selling Pani-Puri in Tamil Nadu. That's a statement, Prapanch, as we were discussing, inciting hate against groups.
Yeah, this is actually very unacceptable. That the comments from the minister himself is kind of, very unfortunate. But then
in fact,
we need to check how the DMK...
I'll request you to stay on with us, Prapanch. Apologies for cutting you short. We have American Narayanan, Congress leader, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. American, how do you respond to this statement that has been made by the minister? Is that the official stand of the Congress party as well?
Very simply, we are not against any language. And as such, however, when I have consistently said, and the Congress also feels, that nothing should be imposed. Unfortunately, this is a reaction to the Hindustan policy of the Modi Sarkar, nothing else. I think
so
all the languages...
Is it okay to say that those who are Hindi speakers are only selling Pani-Puri in the state? Because this is not opposing Hindi. Here, with this statement, you are insulting those who speak Hindi.
No, it's not. Because I can tell you very clearly, I have traveled and even professionally in certain places where I did not understand Hindi and I told them that I don't speak and understand, people insisted on speaking Hindi even though they knew English.
Okay, so
There has been
it's
a
okay
language
to profile
chauvinism.
people as those who speak Hindi are selling Pani-Puri. It's fine to profile them because once when you tried speaking to them in Hindi, they refused to respond.
I think consistently there are language chauvinists everywhere in every part of the country. And Tamil Nadu is a reaction today because in the past Hindi has been imposed. I remember when I was a kid in 60s, that's why Congress lost its rule.
Okay,
Now,
but Mr. Narayanan, this is not about
understood.
Hindi imposition. If you look at the statement, Rajagopalan, senior journalist, also with us. Mr. Rajagopal, how do you respond to it when a comparison is made with Hindi push? Because this has nothing to do with Hindi push or the imposition of Hindi. Very clearly, this is profiling of those who speak in Hindi.
It's an insult to those who are selling Bharathiar and Pani-Puri in Tamil Nadu, especially in Chennai particularly. There are Hindi-speaking waiters in the hotel. At least 50% of the hotel industry is from the North India. And my understanding is Ponmudy, the minister, should not speak language which will hurt the others. He must understand
Mr. Rajagopalan, stay with us.
others.
Let's take in a reaction from the DMK because we have TKS Elangovan joining us, DMK MP. Mr. Elangovan, this is the statement made by the Education Minister. Do you stand by the statement?
No. What he had spoken there in the meeting with front of the governor is that we are not against Hindi, but don't impose Hindi on us. That's much he had spoken. That is our party stand. That is why we have followed the two-language formula. We don't want Hindi to be imposed on us. We are not against Hindi.
Okay.
How can we be against Hindi when there are people speaking Hindi?
No, that's fine. That's an ongoing debate. But if you heard the entire statement, he doesn't just stop at that. He says that those who are selling Pani-Puri here in Tamil Nadu, they are the Hindi speakers. We don't need to learn it. Profiling of people, insult to those who are selling Pani-Puri. This is the stand of the DMK that, you think it's okay to profile people who speak in Hindi. Is that not bringing enmity against certain groups?
No. What he must have meant is that people who are learning Hindi alone comes for menial jobs. That's all. Now, that doesn't mean that he is insulting them.
So, to sell Pani-Puri is a menial job is the official stand of the DMK that it's okay that those who are speaking Hindi can sell Pani-Puri.
Knowing Hindi alone will not help people. That might have been his version.
Mr. Rajagopalan, how do you respond to Mr. Elangovan? He says that those who can speak only in Hindi, they do menial jobs, and that's the statement that DMK was trying to make.
Mr. T.K. Elangovan is correctly saying he is denying what Mr. Ponmudy said. DMK position is what T.K. Elangovan is speaking. There is a contradiction between T.K. Elangovan and Ponmudy. Now DMK stands exposed because they adopt they have two tongues. Whenever they speak one way, the other one deny it, the other one is agreeing like that. But today the governor has categorically said there is no imposition of Hindi by the center. Unnecessarily DMK, because they have not fulfilled their election promises. They are diverting the issue. They have not given 1,000 rupees to the poor people as assured by DMK in their manifesto. That is why they are diverting the issue on Hindi.
Okay, very quickly, Mr. Elangovan, I just want to ask you if this was the same that had happened in some other state, if those who speak in Tamil are being profiled as just doing one particular profession, would you be okay with that?
No. I don't mean that. See, what he would have meant is that learning Hindi is not going to help us. That's all.
Okay, all right.
In fact, learning Tamil and English has helped us.
Okay, but that's not the statement that he made.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Elangovan and Rajagopalan, thank you for joining us. All right, we have Ajay Alok also on the phone line with us. How do you respond to this statement that has been made by the Tamil Nadu minister during the ongoing controversy around languages?
See, of lately, Tamil Nadu has been in controversy for every small little thing. So whether it is the NEET examination and now it's the Hindi speakers, I mean, should politicians talk about unifying things or they should talk about dividing things? A division on the basis of language, and we are living in India, which is Bharat, also known as Hindustan, and mocking Hindi language doesn't make any sense. I mean, the Chief Minister of the state should look into the matter. Don't you have people speaking Hindi in Chennai, or in Tamil Nadu, or in South India? We must respect. This is not the way to speak, and that too by a minister. I condemn it.
Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us. This is a clear attempt to divide on lines of the languages spoken by people. Listen in to the statement that was made by the Tamil Nadu minister.
Anna has told அவர் ஒரு உதாரணம் சொன்னார். பூனை போறதுக்கு ஒரு வழி இருக்கு. அந்த பூனை போற வழியிலேயே ஏன்னா ரொம்ப பேர் சொன்னாங்க ஹிந்தி படிச்சா வேலை கிடைக்கும். கிடைக்குதா? ஹிந்தி நம்ம ஊர்ல கோயம்புத்தூர்ல போய் பாருங்க, பானிபூரி வச்சுக்கிறோம், எந்த கடை யாரு எல்லாம் தான். ஆக அது ஒரு காலம். இப்ப ஆங்கிலம் இன்டர்நேஷனல் லாங்குவேஜ், பூனை போடுறதுக்கு ஒரு வழி இருக்கு, அந்த வழியா பூனை போகலாம். அதுல இன்னொரு நான் என்ன பண்ணான், அந்த வீட்டுக்காரன் பூனை போறதுக்கு ஒரு வழியை ஓட்ட போட்டு எலி போறதுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன ஓட்ட போட்டான். இது எதுக்கு அந்த சின்ன ஓட்ட போடுறேன்னு ஒருத்தர் கேட்டான் பக்கத்து வீட்டுல. எலி போறதுக்கு ஏன்னா பூனை போற ஓட்டையிலே எலி போகாதா? We are learning international language English. What is the need for another language?
So this was the statement that was made by the Tamil Nadu Education Minister, Vice President of the Tamil Nadu BJP, Narayan Tirupati, on the phone line with us. Mr. Tirupati, how do you respond to this? All right, before we go to him, let's take in Shilpa as well. Shilpa, we have, Prapanch, I'll come to you. We have a divide or a debate going on over the language controversy. Among the states that do not speak Hindi, there is a resistance. They are against the imposition of Hindi. But this was not about that debate at all. This is a statement he made with a clear insult to those who are speaking Hindi.
Yeah, in fact, I could say that this is a very unfortunate comment by the minister. There are two separate incidents today. Even the governor of Puducherry, Tamilisai Soundararajan, also, in fact, was explaining about how the Puducherry government is also working towards Tamil, the upliftment of Tamil, and to the extent that she said that Tamil is equal to the life of people. And so she was explaining about the importance of
Prapanch. Let's also take in a reaction from Narayan Tirupati, Vice President of the Tamil Nadu BJP. Mr. Tirupati, how do you respond to this statement?
The education minister has spoken like an uneducated personality, and I think he should take back his words, or Mr. Stalin, the chief minister, should ask him to apologize for what he has said by insulting the Hindi people or by insulting those who sell Pani-Puris. These people are trying to create an issue. These people are trying to create a language problem in order to hide their failure in the last 1 year rule. That is what they are trying to do. But Mr. Ponmudy is known for his arrogance. Mr. Ponmudy is known for his the arrogant attitude what he has shown in the past also. So I think these people who are responsible for destroying the Tamils and the youths of Tamil Nadu for more than 4 decades by selling liquor throughout Tamil Nadu to the government shops, and that is what they are doing. They are trying to, instead of insulting Pani-Puris, they should know that they have destroyed the Tamil and the Tamil language.
Mr. Tirupati, this is also a very divisive statement that could have bigger repercussions as well when you're profiling people. And if it was a statement that was made in any other state against the Tamils, there would be absolute outrage, and there should be as well. So when this statement is made by the DMK minister, there should be equal condemnation.
See, that is the reason they are making all these statements, that they want a problem, they want some problem to happen by unnecessarily creating these kind of controversies. It is the intention of the DMK to have a problem. They are divisive. They want to do that. They want to instigate. That is what they are trying to do, and he is doing it.
Okay, all right. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Tirupati, with your thoughts on that. Prapanch, coming back to you, the point that you were making, and as we are seeing the political reactions play out as well, language is of course a very emotive issue in Tamil Nadu. But in this case, it was not about the language controversy, it was a clear insult.
Definitely, during the convocation event, he went up, in fact, extra mile to make such comments because it was almost a very radical speech. In fact, that comment was very unacceptable, unfortunate. He was giving, fundamentally, he was explaining the importance of Tamil and English and how Hindi was not required to be learnt. But however, going extra mile, he made such a remark which was unwelcomed, unacceptable. But we can see that opposition parties are demanding for an apology, and we will have to wait and watch whether the minister apologizes for his remark or the government officially comes up with a statement which should in fact respond to the remarks of the minister. So we'll have to wait and watch on that. But however, we could see that this is an unwelcoming comment. This is an unfortunate comment saying that the Hindi speakers who were in fact during his speech where he said that Hindi speakers who were there in the Coimbatore and Tamil Nadu people, which is a sizable number to be saying that it's a sizable number of population in Tamil Nadu who speak Hindi. But however, telling Hindi speakers who are there in Coimbatore are selling Pani-Puri is a very unfortunate and unwelcoming comment.
Absolutely, because to say Hindi is as foreign a language to us as English or any other language, that's an ongoing debate. To say that Hindi should not be imposed, that's another ongoing debate. But to say that those who speak Hindi are only selling Pani-Puri in Tamil Nadu is a clear insult. And this coming in from a minister who is known to make controversial statements. Prapanch, any word on any reaction coming in from the DMK or the Congress party?
The DMK is yet to officially react on this particular comment made by Minister Ponmudy, wherein he has made remarks on the people speaking in Hindi. So yet we didn't have a proper remark or official comment by the DMK or the government. However, opposition parties have been constantly condemning this remark, and they have been asking the minister to apologize for his remark.
Absolutely. In fact, let's take that word from the DMK. Saravanan, DMK spokesperson, also on the phone line with us. Mr. Saravanan, is this the official stand of the DMK government, the DMK party?
In Hindi imposition.
Not on Hindi imposition. If you heard this statement, we can play it out again for you if you want. He said that Hindi speakers are only selling Pani-Puri.
See, I have heard that the minister had said that because if you look at the migration data, people from north of India, that is the people from the Hindi belt, the workers from the Hindi belt are migrating to the state of Tamil Nadu. It is not vice versa. So those people who are coming here, they are selling Pani-Puris, and he has just made a factual statement. What is wrong in selling Pani-Puris? Is that such a derogatory
that's the question that is being asked. Is it derogatory? Because the statement that he made was those who know only Hindi, they only sell Pani-Puri.
So Pani-Puri is a honorable job. Why do we have to get into this controversy?
That is the controversy, Mr. Saravanan, that your minister, the statement that he has made is profiling people who speak a certain language and also insulting those who are selling Pani-Puri. And
One thing, it is a honorable job.
We have Mohsin Raza also joining us. Okay, Mr. Saravanan, we have Mohsin Raza also joining us. Please stay on with us. Mohsin Raza ji, आपने अगर ये statement सुना, ये कह रहे हैं कि जो हिंदी बात करते हैं, वो तो तमिलनाडु में बस आके पानी-पूरी बेचते हैं.
देखिए, एक तमिलनाडु के हायर एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर ने इस तरह का बयान दिया है तो उन्हें उस पद पर रहने का अधिकार नहीं है. एक संवैधानिक पद पर है, उन्होंने हिंदी भाषी और हिंदी को इस तरह से हिंदी भाषी लोगों को मजाक बनाया है कि वो पूरी पानी बेचते हैं. तो अगर इस तरह से पूरी पानी बेचकर अपना जीवन जीविका चलाते हैं, उनका मजाक उड़ाने का किसी को अधिकार नहीं है और साफ तौर पर उन्हें माफी भी मांगना चाहिए पूरे देश के लोगों से. और हिंदी हमारी मातृभाषा है. हम अंग्रेजी जरूर पढ़ते हैं क्योंकि इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर हम जब जाते हैं और डायलॉग्स होते हैं वो अंग्रेजी में होते हैं, लेकिन हमारी हिंदी जबान, हमारी हिंदी संस्कृति, इसके पूरी दुनिया में लोग इसकी मिसाल देते हैं कि ये पूरी दुनिया को जोड़ कर रखने वाली हमारी हिंदी मातृभाषा जो है वो पूरी दुनिया को जोड़ती है. वसुधैव कुटुंबकम हमारी सनातनी संस्कृति है. तो इसलिए हिंदी जो हमारी मातृभाषा है उस पर सवाल उठाना और ये कहना कि हम अपने यहाँ हमारे
मातृभाषा तो नहीं है, लेकिन इट्स ऑल्सो नॉट राइट टू इंसल्ट पीपल. सरवनन, हाउ डू यू रेस्पॉन्ड टू दैट?
அவர் என்ன பேசினாருன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. அவர் ஹிந்தியில பேசுறாரு. அதுதான் சொல்றேன், தமிழுக்கும் ஹிந்திக்கும் நிறைய டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கு. அவர் எங்களுடைய இவர் மினிஸ்டர் வந்து என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காரு அப்படின்னா, இங்க தமிழ்நாட்டுல பானிபூரி விற்கிறவங்க தான் ஹிந்தி பேசுவாங்கன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. அதுல எந்த தப்பும் கிடையாது. ஏன்னா தமிழ்நாட்டுல வந்து பானிபூரி விற்கிறது எல்லாம் யாருன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஹிந்திக்காரங்க தான். ஏன்னா நார்த் இந்தியால இருந்து இங்க வந்திருக்காங்க. தமிழ்நாட்டுல தமிழ் பேசுற யாரும் வந்து பானிபூரி விற்க மாட்டாங்க.
Okay, to translate what Mr. Saravanan is saying, and he is making a point by responding in Tamil that there's nothing wrong with selling Pani-Puri, but that's not the statement that is being made, and that's precisely the point that the leaders are trying to make, that there's nothing wrong with it. Mr. Saravanan, your point taken as you spoke in Tamil to say that there should not be a Hindi push. But our question to you is, this is not about Hindi push. This debate, he was not asked to speak in Hindi. That's not the debate at all. The statement that he made was simply that those who know only Hindi have no option but to sell Pani-Puri. And I'll give you a reminder as well. Going back just a few decades ago, when this similar incidents happened in Bombay, in Tamil Nadu, there was absolute outrage. So for the DMK to take such a stance, is it not shameful?
What is wrong about it? See, is there any wrong in that statement? See, people, I'm telling you, in the state of Tamil Nadu, people who are from the Hindi belt are the ones who are selling Pani-Puris, because people from the state of Tamil Nadu, they'll only sell
Okay, so it's fine to profile people like that. All right.
It's not profiling. There is a mere fact. There is no profiling here. He has just stated a fact. This is just
so there is no Hindi-speaking person who does anything else. There are no IT companies that are functioning where engineers from across the country come in. In Chennai, there are you saying that those who speak Hindi only sell Tamil, only sell Pani-Puri? Is that what you're saying?
No,
because I can give you countless examples of engineers who come in from across the country. They speak Hindi and they are in Chennai.
Yeah, I'll come to your point. You have made a very, very valid point. So let us not get sentimental here and then clarify that to you. If someone else is working in an IT sector, let us say someone is working as a doctor from North India who knows Hindi, would he have gone ahead? Would he have gone to this pinnacle of his career only because he just knows Hindi? He has gone there because he knew English. He was proficient in English. That is the point we wanted to make, and that is the point now.
So it's not about the technical language, it's only about knowing English.
That is all about it.
That may be factually incorrect because, okay, all right, Mr. Saravanan, but I take your point that you're trying to make, that it brings in, and I know that's a sentiment in Tamil Nadu and the other non-Hindi speaking states as well, but here it's not about the Hindi push. The statement that he made was a clear insult and profiling of people. Saravanan has dropped the line. Let's listen in to the statement that the Tamil Nadu minister made, and you can judge for yourself.
Anna has told our உதாரணம் சொன்னார். பூனை போறதுக்கு ஒரு வழி இருக்கு. அந்த பூனை போகிற வழியிலேயே, ஏன்னா ரொம்ப பேர் சொன்னாங்க ஹிந்தி படிச்சா வேலை கிடைக்குதா? ஹிந்தி நம்ம ஊர்ல கோயம்புத்தூர்ல போய் பாருங்க, பான்பூரி வச்சுக்கிறோம், எந்த கிடையாது, எல்லாம் அவங்க தான். ஆக அது ஒரு காலம். இப்ப ஆங்கிலம் இன்டர்நேஷனல் லாங்குவேஜ், பூனை போடுறதுக்கு ஒரு வழி இருக்கு, அந்த வழியா பூனை போகலாம். அதுல இன்னொரு நான் என்ன பண்ணான், அந்த வீட்டுக்காரன் பூனை போறதுக்கு ஒரு வழியை ஓட்ட போட்டு எலி போறதுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன ஓட்ட போட்டான். இது எதுக்கு அந்த சின்ன ஓட்ட போடுறேன்னு ஒருத்தர் கேட்டாங்க பக்கத்துல. எலி போறதுக்கு பூனை போற ஓட்டையிலே எலி போகாதா? We are learning international language English. What is the need for another language?
The statement that was made amid the ongoing language debate, but it was not about the imposition of Hindi. This was a very divisive statement that was made, and parties, irrespective of what their leaning is, should condemn it. We are slipping into a short break here. Be right back. Do stay with us.